tutorial. Now let's consider plus 2 4x plus 6. The first thing again we need to do is to rearrange. We transfer plus 4x to the left hand side of the inequality, which becomes minus 4x. Alright, we have 3x minus 4x less than equals to 6 minus 2. So we have simplified the inequality further. The next thing we need to do is to solve further. 3x minus 4x will give a minus x. So we then have minus x less than equals to 6 minus 2 will give us 4. So the final answer. Now what we need to note here is that we have a negative x less than equals to plus 4. When you want to change from negative, you have a negative coefficient and you want to change the negative coefficient to a positive value, positive x. Here we have a negative x and we want to change to positive x. You can multiply both sides by minus. Because of this negative x, you multiply both sides by minus, then the inequality sign changes. Note, because you have a negative coefficient and the coefficient is minus 1, you multiply both sides by minus 1 and the inequality sign changes. We then have it as x greater than equals to minus 4. So the solution to this inequalities becomes x greater than or equals to minus 4. Why? Because initially we have a negative 1 as a coefficient of x. Let's consider another example. Alright, we have another example as 4x plus 6 greater than equals to 5x plus 2. So the first thing we need to do is to rearrange as well. So we then have 4x minus 5x greater than equals to 2 minus 6. The next thing you need to do further is to solve 4x minus 5x. 4x minus 5x will give us a minus x, that's a negative x. So we then have minus x greater than or equals to minus 4. 2 minus 6 will give us minus 4. Alright, so we then have minus x greater than or equals to minus 4. Now look at it, the coefficient of x here is negative 1. Don't forget the rule. When the coefficient of x is negative 1, you multiply both sides by what? Minus 1, and the inequality sign changes. So when we multiply both sides by minus 1, the inequality sign as well changes. We then have it as x. We have it as x less than equals to plus 4. X less than equals to plus 4. Why is it plus 4? We have multiplied both sides by negative 1. So minus 4 times 1 will give us plus 4. Minus 4 times minus 1 will give us plus 4. Minus 1 times minus x will give us plus x. And the inequality sign changes as well. Alright. So let's consider another example. Alright, we have another example. Another inequality as 4x plus 6 greater than equals to 6x plus 2. So we then solve further. We then have 4x minus 6x greater than equals to 2 minus 6. This can be solved further to give minus 2x greater than equals to minus 4. So now we have a negative coefficient as well, but here we have a negative coefficient of x, which is the coefficient of x here is minus 2. So here you divide both sides by minus 2, which is the coefficient of x, then the inequality sign changes. Note, the coefficient of x is greater than minus 1, it is minus 2. You divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is minus 2, and by so doing the inequality sign changes. Alright, the final answer then gives x less than equals to 2. That's the final answer. because we have divided by a negative coefficient of 2, which is the coefficient of x. The inequality sign as well changes. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Learning to Tutor.